Former Lansing police officer pleads no contest to sex crime charges. Lansing, MIWILX. Former Lansing police officer Matthew Prebe pleaded no contest to 5 of the 6 charges against him Monday. He'd been accused of sexually assaulting at least 3 students while he was a school resource officer with Lansing Public Schools. The plea agreement covered charges of second-degree criminal sexual conduct, common law offense, fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct, and 2 counts of assault or assault and battery. In exchange, prosecutors dropped 1 count of distributing obscene matter to children. Prebe was immediately taken into custody of the Ingham County Sheriff's Office. He will be held without bail until his sentencing on October 2nd. News 10 and WillX.com first told you about Matthew Prebe in the spring of 2018. The Lansing School District was informed of the allegations against him on May 31st. Then Chief Mike Yankowski placed Prebe on administrative leave the same day. Prebe resigned from the force on June 22nd. One of his accusers told WillX.com she was introduced to Prebe by school. He reached to try and grab my hand and he tried putting his hand in his area and I could see that he was getting aroused. I just pulled my hand away and he said, "You don't have to be shy." Then he tried reaching in to kiss me and I just remember pushing up against the door because I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't move. She says Prebe continued to pressure her for sex and sent her a picture of his penis. Court transcripts showed 2 other women told police Prebe put his hands on them. The first was 16 years old when she started hanging out in Prebe's office at Eastern High during lunch. Prebe gave her a business card with his cell phone number on it and asked the girl to call him. According to the documents, she claims Prebe would often FaceTime her from his patrol car, one time showing her guns and money and another time undressing and showing off his tattoos. The documents state that the girl said it got physical on May 30th, 2018, when Prebe put his hand on her thigh in the patrol car and offered to kiss her. The second accuser said she was in Prebe's office in March 2018 when he stood over her, grabbed her hand and put it on his groin until she snatched her hand back. The documents state that 2 months later, Prebe repeatedly tried to lift her dress high enough to almost see her underwear. She pushed his hand away and told him she didn't like that. He responded with, "Yeah, I see." According to the documents, Lansing Police Public Information Officer Robert Merritt said Acting Chief Darrell Green and the department as a whole do not have a comment on the plea agreement. The Lansing School District has not responded to a request for a comment yet. News 10 and WillX.com will continue to keep you updated on this case as it moves toward.
Now this is a picture of an officer, and this story is about blue line privilege. This is totally unacceptable. The prosecutor needs to be charged, as well as this officer, because the prosecutor allowed this officer, who admittingly molested underage girls, and he will not even do 1 year in jail. That's the problem. That's the disconnect. Something has to be done. They cannot allow these officers to get away with doing what they're doing. Now, this school resource officer would use his job to prey on young girls. He sent them nude photos and videos, despite their young age and protests. And the picture on the left is the picture he would send to these, or some of these young girls, young victims, because they were definitely victims of this school police officer. And these are the ones they're putting in the schools to protect the kids. But he will not even do a year in jail. For those who doubt the existence of blue privilege, this story is so good. I mean, it comes from the freethoughtproject.com, but their wording is right on. You know, it's for those who doubt the existence of blue line privilege, I added the line, and the ability of cops to escape accountability for unspeakable crimes. The following case should serve as proof it is real. When an officer of the law is caught exploiting and abusing society's most vulnerable children, they can escape any significant jail time. This is definite proof of blue privilege. This disgraced officer, Lansing, police officer, Lansing, name is Matthew Pribey. Doesn't even matter. I got a whole list of names on my one playlist. But this is all the proof you need right here. It says, this week he pled no contest to second-degree criminal sexual conduct, attempted fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct, misconduct in office, and 2 counts of assault and battery. The charges all stemmed from his role as a school resource officer and the repeated sexual assault of multiple young girls while on the job. In exchange for his no contest plea, the prosecutors dropped the charge of distributing sexually explicit material to a minor. The charge of distributing sexually explicit material to a minor was dropped in spite of the prosecutors having photos of this officer's erect penis that he sent to the children. They gonna drop this charge? How does the prosecutor that works for the people have a right to do that? Shouldn't the people decide whether this prosecutor should give this cop a sweetheart deal? Even though they got photos, they will do anything to protect themselves. They don't want to look bad, you know. But the Livingston County prosecutor, William, I don't even know how to say these names, Vaillancourt, who cares? He's nothing but a tyrant thug as well. He said on Monday that the officer's plea deal would guarantee that he would spend no more than 12 months in jail. This former school cop will, however, have to register as a sex offender. Like they really care about that. Court records show that this cop sent photos of himself to child victims of him sitting on the couch with his, exposed. He would also send videos of himself in the shower at the police department. I mean, he's at the police department taking videos of himself in the shower. Are they all doing this? Because it sure looks like there's a lot of them. I get a new one every day, and today there was like half a dozen. I didn't even report all these sexual deviants. But the youngest victim was 14, the oldest 17. Michigan State Police Detective Angela Hunt testified at a hearing that led to criminal charges. The assaults took place during a 3-year period. And this officer was going to want to take her out of state. I mean, all these charges. He doesn't even get a year. He'll get less than that. Good time, he'll be out, no problem. But the younger girls were sexually assaulted on school campus in this officer of the law's office. And they just dropped the charges. So one of the girls walked into his office just to say hello. And before a sporting event, when the officer shut the door and physically held her in the room with his arms, grabbed the girl, lifted up her dress. As the girl tried to pull her dress down, he continued to lift it up. This, prior to the plea deal, the officer was given special privilege throughout the entire deal. In fact, he was allowed to miss his probable cause hearing despite facing a slew of felonies for child sexual assault. So now this cop was allowed to resign, and they're saying right here that prior to this event, he had been an officer for a decade, which likely means there are more victims out there. They never catch them the first time. That's very rare. Anyone's ever caught the first time. And in the land of the free, child sex abusers get far less time in jail than people caught with a plant. You get caught with a plant, you're facing 10 to 80 years if you try to fight them. You get caught with these guys doing absolutely nothing. Sadly, there's a pattern of police officers getting caught preying on children, raping women, committing other unspeakable crimes, and never going to jail. Only 2 months ago, California, I think I did that story, Highway Patrol, Robert Derrick was given probation for attempting to have sex with a 13-year-old. I got a whole list of them. I mean, from almost every state. They just get away with it. The blue line privilege. It's disgusting. But this officer will get less than a year in jail. This is totally unacceptable. When will we the people say enough is enough? Stop letting them rape your children, people, because you're allowing it to happen by not standing up and doing something about it. Stop protecting the pervs. This got to end.